What's up, family? And welcome to another Fact Friday. Last week, we talked about the product that got the industry in the chokehold right now, which is Index Universal Life Insurance. We talked about what it is and what it ain't. Today, we're going to talk about why it even exists. Let's be real, IULs did not just come out of nowhere. They were created to solve a very specific problem. Before Index Universal Life Insurance, people only had two main options. Option number one was whole life. It was guaranteed, it was stable, it was predictable. However, the growth of it was so slow. Whole life was a safe product. However, it didn't grow fast enough to keep up with inflation, and therefore it didn't meet clients' retirement needs. Option number two is variable life insurance. With variable life insurance, your cash value is invested directly in the stock market, which gave it a higher potential for growth. However, the stock market offers a real risk. So when the market goes up, your money goes up. But when the market goes down, your money goes down with it. So if the market crashes and your money is in a variable life insurance account, you will lose that money. So people were stuck with only two options: safety with limited growth or growth with real risk. And so that gap presented an opportunity for Index Universal Life Insurance. By the late 1980s and the early 1990s, three things were happening at the same time. One, people were living longer. Two, pensions were disappearing. And three, market volatility was increasing. Insurance companies started asking a new question: how do we give people growth potential without exposing them to market loss? That question led to the creation of Index Universal Life Insurance. Index Universal Life Insurance policies were introduced in the mid to late 1990s. The idea was simple, but it was super powerful. The idea was to one, let cash value be linked to a market index like the S&P 500. However, it does not invest directly into the stock market. That's the key. It will credit interest when the stock market goes up, and it will protect the policy with the floor when the market goes down. So people never lose money. This was the middle ground between those two options. It wasn't too conservative and it wasn't too risky. Now, Index Universal Life Insurance was not created for everyone. They were designed for people who, one, wanted long-term growth, two, could fund the policy consistently, three, didn't want to gamble away retirement money, four, needed tax advantage accumulation, and five, understood patience and discipline. In other words, Index Universal Life Insurance was built for long-term planners, not short-term thinkers. Over time, people started realizing something very important with Index Universal Life Insurance. You could grow your money tax deferred. You could access your money tax free through policy loans. You could avoid market losses. You can still have a death benefit. And the policies also include living benefits. This made Index Universal Life Insurance very attractive for one, supplemental retirement income. For two, business owners. Three, high income earners. And four, families who are thinking generationally. But popularity also brought problems. Some agents oversold illustrations, used unrealistic growth assumptions, underfunded policies. I see that a lot. And focused on sales rather than properly structuring the Index Universal Life Insurance policy. The product didn't change, the way it was sold changed. And that's why being educated on this subject really matters. Index Universal Life Insurance was created to solve a real problem. How do you grow your money long term without the risk of market loss? When structured properly and funded correctly, Index Universal Life Insurance does exactly that. But history teaches us this. Index Universal Life Insurance is not about quick wins. It's about a long-term strategy. If you're interested in knowing more about Index Universal Life Insurance, send me a DM.